The return of the most beloved MMA fighter at the moment in UFC 313 is in the books. UFC 313 was a sneaky fun card, headlined with the legendary Alex Pereira taking on who many believe is his toughest test of his career, Magomed Ankalaev, with the co-main event of the always exciting Justin Gaethje taking on short notice Rafael Fiziev in a rematch from UFC 286. This was alongside some fun fights. Could UFC 313 live up to the hype? Let's find out. This is the Fight Franchise and the recap and review of UFC 313. With fights falling through across the card, we only got one set of early prelims, which was Ozzy Diaz versus Jordan Santos, where they scrapped across 3 rounds back and forth in a really fun bout, where the rounds was competitive and hard to score. The judges gave the win to Diaz in a fun bout, however the scorecard has been debated by fans online in favour of Santos. The prelims began with Myron Santos taking on Francis Marshall, where in a competitive first round it seemed Marshall did the better in the round, dropping Santos and swinging big early. The second round Santos fought back with Marshall looking to get the grappling going. It was a competitive round, but it seemed to go the way of Santos. The third round both guys was landing and being competitive, where Marshall finished in the guard landing shots. It went all 3 rounds with the scorecards all over the place, but it ended up being a split decision in the favour of Santos. Carlos Leal took on Alex Morono, where Leal from the jump put the pressure on swinging, where Morono was trying to be his evasive self, where the power from Leal was effective, dropping Morono where he let him back up and was teeing off on Morono, where he secured the brilliant standing TKO and the first finish of the card. Next up, a middleweight bout between Armen Petrosyan and Bruno Ferreira, where in the first round Petrosyan was using a kick-heavy game, while Ferreira was on the outside, where Petrosyan landed 2 low blows, where he was deducted a point, where it seemed Petrosyan's round, but he was deducted a point, so it seemed 9-9 going into the second round. The second round, Ferreira started pressuring more and looking for the takedown, where he would back up Petrosyan against the cage and landed shots, and began sinking in a takedown, where he got the back and then the arm of Petrosyan and would secure the armbar to get an excellent win. The final fight of the prelims was Joshua Van versus Ray Saruya, where Van fought a very good fight, stuffing the takedowns of Saruya over 3 rounds, where he stuffed 19 of 23 takedowns and was just landing the more strikes, with 127 for Van against Saruya's 47, where Van won the well-deserved decision win, which brought the end to some really good prelim action. The main card started with Bobby Green taking on the hyped and up-and-coming Mauricio Huffy. The two squared off, where Huffy was on the front foot from the start, where both guys were very tentative, where Huffy landed a big straight right hand and had Green hesitant, where just over 2 minutes into the fight, Huffy threw a beautiful spinning kick which flatlined Green, face planting him to the canvas, where he stole the show and landed the KO of the year so far, which will be very hard to top for 2025. This was an amazing moment to kick off the main card and one of the moments of the year so far. The next fight to follow was Amanda Lemos taking on Yasmin Lucindo, where a fight took place with not a lot of action, where across rounds 1 and 2 Lemos did the better work to win a decision, which was unfortunately at a bad time, following the KO of the year from Mauricio Huffy, which took a lot of hype and momentum out of the card. The next fight was a very hyped lightweight bout between Ignacio Bahamondes, who was taking on Jalen Turner, where both guys traded big early, where Bahamondes looked to pull guard, where Turner was on top landing shots, where Bahamondes set up the triangle and cinched it up and secured the tap 2 minutes 30 seconds into round 1. A brilliant win for Bahamondes, who can go up the rankings. As for Turner, he is saying he is done and is retiring, which I think is a bad call, as he has potential. Maybe a new gym and coach could refresh him, or if he can build the muscle into his frame, he could fight at welterweight. The co-main event saw Justin Gaethje taking on short notice Rafael Fiziev in a rematch from UFC 286, where the fight played out quite similar to the first with how the rounds were won, where Fiziev came out with takedowns early, where Gaethje managed to get up, where Fiziev landed the better of the two to steal round 1. Round 2, Fiziev landed strong, but Gaethje was managing to overwhelm Fiziev, where he started matching the output, where he landed a huge uppercut to put down Fiziev and would steal round 2. Round 3, Fiziev started good, but Gaethje put on the pressure and would do the better in round 3 to win the decision, and is most likely throwing himself in the mix for one last title shot at Undisputed Gold. The main event saw the UFC's biggest star at present, Alex Pereira, looking to defend his title against his most difficult stylistic matchup, Magomed Ankalaev, where both guys fought in a measured and tentative bout, where Pereira was targeting with low leg kicks while Ankalaev saw success with his hands. It seemed round 1 was Alex Pereira's with the early low leg kick damage, and round 2 Ankalaev stole with his boxing, stunning Pereira late in the round. Round 3 was a competitive back and forth and the swing round, where round 4 Ankalaev did good, pressuring Pereira to the fence, whose takedown defense held up, where not a lot of action, and round 5 a very competitive back and forth which could go either way, but many gave it to Alex Pereira. The fight went to the scorecards, where Ankalaev won the decision on the judges' cards in a competitive bout which lacked lacked the action we have come to know from Pereira fights. This is great for the other fighters in the division to get the title shots, but unlucky for Alex, who was just a bit gun shy, but gives him the perfect chance to go up to heavyweight to become a triple champion. That brought the end to a really fun night of fights. A shame a few fights fell through, but credit to the fighters for putting on some great fights. The early prelims of Diaz and Santos was fun, and the prelims had fun finishes and great performances and fights. The main card started with a bang from Mauricio Huffy, but Lemos and Lucindo stunk up the gaff. Bahamondes got a quick finish, and Fiziev and Gaethje was a fun scrap. The main event left more to be desired. It was a tense and competitive bout, but missed the action we all wanted. If we was to grade this card, it gets a B. A solid score for a really fun card. Up next, we are getting a super card of action in Miami. Did you enjoy the video? Let us know down in the comments below. Who do you think won the fight between Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev? Did you think Pereira was robbed, or did you think Ankalaev won the well-deserved decision? Put that down in the comments below. Leave a like if you've enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more MMA and fight content coming soon. We hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you in the next one.